Welcome back to the Maelstrom, ladies and gentlemen. We have another Warhammer 40K battle report for you today. ATC Mission 2 for 2016. Eldar versus Dark Eldar, Hutch and Griff in the classic Kinstrife battle. We have 6 objectives, as always. We have one there in the corner, one here next to the Imperial Bunker, one here next to the ruins, another further down in the ruins, 5th objective there, and the 6th and final one there. They are numbered for Maelstrom of War. As before, we will have a link in the description to the mission itself, rather than trying to explain it here, because it is fairly complex to explain in just a few minutes. So we will let that stand. They are playing Crusade with the objectives numbered 1 to 4. The others only apply for tactical objectives. And the Eldar will be in the far corner. The Dark Eldar will be here for Vanguard Strike. We will be right back with army lists. First up, we have the Eldar. Hutch is going to walk us down his force.
Alright, I have a Farseer. His psychic powers are Doom, Guide, Executioner, and Fortune. I have a 9-man squad of Dire Avengers in a Wave Serpent with Shuriken Cannon and Hollow Fields and Scatter Lasers at the top. I have a 7-man Dire Avenger squad with an identical Wave Serpent. I then have a Viper with 2 Shuriken Cannons, a Night Spinner with Spirit Stones and Hollow Fields, a Wraith Lord with dual Flamers, dual Bright Lances, and a Ghost Glaive. I have a Falcon with a Bright Lance and Hollow Fields. And then I have 2 Aspect Hosts. The first one has 5 Howling Banshees with an Executioner, 5 Striking Scorpions with a Scorpion's Claw, and 6 Swooping Hawks. They will have the +1 weapon skill. And then the second Aspect Host has 6 Warp Spiders, 6 Fire Dragons, and 5 Dark Reapers, all with Reaper Shot.
Alright, and I assume they're taking the +1 ballistic skill.
Yes.
Alright, so there you have it, the Eldar, 1,850 points. Next up, we have the Dark Kin with their 1,850 points. Griff's going to walk us down his army.
Okay, so for my HQ, I have an Archon with a Power Sword, a Shadow Field, and Haywire Grenades, and a Homunculus with a Flesh Gauntlet. Then I have 4 Grotesques riding in a Raider with enhanced Ether Sails. Then for my troops, I have 4 identical squads of warriors. They are 10 strong with a Shredder, and their Raiders have enhanced Ether Sails. Then rolling around with the Archon, I have 6 Harlequins with 5 Harlequin Caresses and a Power Sword and Haywire Grenades on the Troop Master. Then for my fast attacks, I have a Raider with enhanced Ether Sails for the Harlequins to ride in, 9 Hellions, and then 6 Reavers with 2 Blasters and 2 Cluster Caltrops. Then for my heavy supports, I have a Talos with Chain Flails, and I have 2 identical Ravagers with 3 Dark Lances.
Alright, so there you have it. You have seen the armies and you have seen the table. We will be back as deployment begins. Alright, so the Eldar won the roll for first deployment and will be going first barring a seize, and Hutch is going to walk us down his placement here.
Alright, the Farseer with the 9-man Dire Avenger squads are in that Wave Serpent. The Fire Dragons have been placed into the Falcon right here. And the 7-man Dire Avenger squad is in this Wave Serpent. The Swooping Hawks are behind the building with the Reapers up on top.
Yep, and the Reapers up top. Alright, and then for the Dark Eldar part.
So my Homunculi and the Grotesques are on the absolute extreme flank, the Talos next to them, the Archon and the Harlequins behind them. Then I've got 3 squads of warriors lined up across the middle. My 2 Ravagers are on the back edge, squad of warriors up here on the street corner holding an objective, and a squad of Reavers on my extreme left also holding an objective.
Alright, and then I think the only things in reserve, we have Hellions and Deep Struck reserve and Scorpions outflanking, yes?
Yes.
Alright, so the Dark Eldar are going to attempt to seize the initiative. And they do for a 2nd game in a row. So Dark Eldar will be going first. We will be back following their opening engagement. Alright, Dark Eldar, turn 1.
Okay, so I pushed my bikes up into the street and shot at the Falcon, no effect with the blasters, and then used their Eldar jet bike jump move to push them into cover in front of the majority of the Eldar army. I also kind of made a general advance to secure objectives for the first turn, since the first turn's tactical objectives was you score points to secure as many objectives on the table as you could. So moved the warriors out to seize objectives, fired disintegrators at that squad of Banshees on the table, and kind of picked them all apart.
Rest in pieces.
Other than that, it was just about maneuver, trying to stay on the baseline and stay out of the range of those Dark Reapers and the heavy weapons on the back line.
Speaking of Dark Reapers, 2 of them did go down from 1 disintegrator.
That's right, the disintegrator here on the left.
Knocked 2 of them down. So that is Dark Eldar turn 1. And as we roll that turn to an end, it stands 4-0 on tactical objectives in their favor. But the Eldar first response is coming back. Alright, Eldar turn 1 rolls to an end.
So, moved up, did nothing as far as shooting, because I apparently can't pierce a cardboard plated tank. Destroyed 1 Raider, killed 7 in the explosion, and 1 of my own warp spiders in the process. Wraith Lord charged into his squad of bikes and did absolutely nothing other than get them to jump and take one of my objectives.
You did kill 1 bike with shooting.
Yeah, 1 bike did go down from shooting overall. The others did hit and run out though, so they are contesting that objective now.
And the warp spiders failed rolled a 4 for their charge distance twice.
Yep, so no charge to these last surviving warriors here. So that is the end of the unfortunate Eldar turn 1. Dark Eldar response is coming up. Dark Eldar turn 2.
Okay, so that disintegrator gunner deserves a medal because once again 3 shots into the Dark Reapers and he laid 2 bodies down through hard cover. The poor Wraith Lord here in the middle caught poison from the gun line developing along the flank here, and they finished him off. The bikes continued their deep penetration and charged the Night Spinner and killed it in close combat. And the Grotesque and the Homunculus got out of their immobilized ride, charged and killed all of the remaining Warp Spiders.
Alright, and in addition to that, this is Tactical Escalation, and the Dark Eldar scored 4 more points there. So that is the end of their turn. The Eldar response in the bottom of 2 coming up. Alright, Eldar turn, that was 2, yes?
Yes.
Eldar turn 2 in the books.
Mostly just a lot of moving to try and get objectives. Wave Serpent moved up here. Falcon scooted over to control that one. Fired at the Ravager, did nothing. Swooping Hawks come in and wiped out his bikes. And that was pretty much the only damage I did this turn.
Yep, not much damage and mostly just maneuvering around to get some extra points while the getting was still good. So the next turn I believe is Supremacy. We'll figure that out in a second. We'll run down that in a second. So that is turn 2 over. Dark Eldar response in the top of 3 coming up. Dark Eldar turn 3.
Okay, so most of this turn was movement, trying to push a Wave Serpent off that took all the Dark Lances off of the 2 Ravagers and didn't get anything through. And we failed to charge with the Talos on it, so that lucky vehicle there kept us out of Supremacy this turn. Other than that, we moved a Warrior Squad all the way down to the farthest objective, moved the Archon and his bodyguards to the center of the table, and ran the Grotesques up, trying to catch up to the rest of the action.
Yep, and then the Hellions also came in down here.
The Hellions came in and killed 3 of the 6 Swooping Hawks.
Including the Exarch. So that is the end of Dark Eldar turn 3. Eldar response coming up. Eldar turn 3.
Alright, so we had Striking Scorpions outflanked down there on that end, shot and managed to take out the last hull point off of that Raider down there. The Dark Reaper shot down at the Archon's Raider and did nothing, but the Swooping Hawks, there was 3 there, they charged it, managed to get a penetrating hit, lost 1 in the explosion, but I did manage to pop the Archon's 2+ Shadowfield. Had a Wave Serpent come up, Dire Venus jumped out to kill the Hellions, Fire Dragons jumped out, only managed to not explode this Raider. They destroyed it, but it did not explode, and so none of his guys died.
Yeah, 3 dice got past the pin, needing a 3+ to destroy it. Rolled 3 2s.
And I killed 1 of them with the Falcon. And that was the turn.
Yep, a little bit more shooting down here, but nothing connected. So no supremacy scored for either side, or ascendancy, I think was this turn, right? Either way, no objective scored this turn. So score remains the same, and going into Dark Eldar, turn 4. Dark Eldar, turn 4 comes to an end.
So some ineffectual firing this turn. The Ravagers, or that Ravager on the end, tried to tee off on the Wave Serpent, and still no effect. No damage is getting through there. The Viper survived another round of shooting through Jinx saves. What else happened? The Archon and his squad charged and beat the last of the Swooping Hawks to death, and then consolidated onto the objective. We moved a Raider back on to control this back objective because our points this turn are supremacy, which required me to hold at least 2 objectives and twice my opponents. The warriors in the corner there, the Shredder killed 2 fire dragons and not much else. They passed their morale and the poison bounced off.
Alright, so supremacy achieved. Eldar response for this turn coming up. Eldar, turn 4 in the books.
Alright, so made some moving to control and contest objectives. Strikes Scorpions, again, with their shooting, managed to down another Raider with 2 glances, taking the last 2 hull points out of that Raider. Jumped out, failed my Doom, even with my reroll, but managed to guide and knock the Talos down to 1 wound. The Falcon managed to take the last wound out of it. The Dire Avengers and Fire Dragons down here fired into that Warrior squad, then charged in and finished them off. They broke and got cut down.
Alright, so that is Eldar turn 4, and both players did achieve supremacy. We are going into turn 5. We will be back following the Dark Eldar. Dark Eldar, turn 5.
Okay, so this turn we made some pretty key charges on vehicles to try to cut down on Eldar mobility. Start with the Dire Avengers here in the corner. They ate every bullet that I could throw at them. Both Ravagers, these 3 warriors. I think we killed, what, 4? Mm-hmm. We killed 4 of them, and they failed their morale and broke towards the center of the table, pulling them off of that objective. My Grotesques made a charge on his Wave Serpent and crushed it in close combat. The warriors in the Raider up here, kind of out there by themselves, killed the vast majority of a squad of Dire Avengers holding that objective, but they did pass their morale check and hold. And then the Archon and his Harlequin bodyguard jumped the Falcon and killed it in close combat.
So lots of Eldar tanks going down, but the turn's domination was not scored. And unsurprising there, if your opponent still has troops alive, domination is not likely. But that is the end of their turn 5. Eldar response coming up. Eldar turn 5.
Alright, so Farseer and his boys, they were only able to snout shooting. We killed 1 warrior there. The Scorpions tried to help out, did nothing. Fire Dragons battle focused over and blew up the Raider. And the Dire Avengers and Wave Serpent killed most of the squad that managed to get out. The Dark Reaper hiding up there in the tower made his shots count this time and killed the Ravager that was here next to the Dire Avengers, I'm sorry. Explosion, 6 inches, and no one got hurt.
Yep. So good luck there. And did you achieve the objective this turn? No, because it was hold all the objectives, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so no more points added there. Going into the last turn, turn 6. We will be back after the Dark Eldar make their moves. Dark Eldar, turn 6.
Okay, so once again another big smattering of vehicle charges. The Archon and his Harlequins jumped a Wave Serpent and crushed it in close combat. Those 2 warriors shot those Dire Avengers and did nothing to them with the Shredder, and then charged them, hit them 4 times, wounded them 3 times, and did nothing to them through their armor saves. I don't know. Those guys deserve medals. Middle of the table. Somewhere through the movement phase I realized I had Furious Charge and I could actually hurt this Viper, so those 10 warriors charged the Viper and destroyed it in close combat. The big one for this turn, the Grotesques hopped the barricade, jumped his Warlord, and killed the Farseer and his Dire Avenger bodyguard, and then posted up to catch a charge from the Scorpions.
Alright, so we are going into the last inning here. The Eldar are going to come back and make their final movements, and we will be back with end game. Game finishes, and the Eldar are going to walk us through their turn.
Alright, so the Fire Dragons and the Dark Reaper attempted to slay the Warlord, but failed. Killed some Harlequins, but was not quite able to get to the Warlord. The Scorpions made a Hail Mary run for the squad of warriors in the center with the hope that if I hit them and wipe them, and with a good consolidation, get to that objective to win on objectives. I needed an 11-inch charge. I made it after fleet, but left 3 guys standing, and with him being fearless this turn from Power from Pain, could not get the job done.
And it really shows Power from Pain, I mean, how much better it is now than before when you were relying on kills. I mean, as it stacks on, it gives the Dark Eldar stuff they really need later in the game. So that is it. That will end in a Dark Eldar victory. We'll have the final points in the aftermath pictures. As always, give us a like on Facebook. That's the easiest way to follow our content. And a subscription on YouTube helps us know that people are watching and gives us the motivation to keep it going. We will also have army lists and after action reviews at the blog as always. And thank you for spending time with us today at the Maelstrom.